Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Elder Arthur Maxson. For 1 colorless, 1 white and 1 black, it's a legendary creature, human knight, 4/2. With creature tokens you control have training. Whenever a creature token you control attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on that token. And Blind Betrayal, sacrifice another creature, Elder Arthur Maxson gains indestructible until end of turn. So I kind of missed this one during the Fallout spoiler because these days the spoilers happen so fast that it's very easy to miss individual cards. But actually I think this is quite a solid card, and that mostly comes down to the sack ability. It's another free sack outlet in Commander, and those are always premium. It's always super important to have multiple ways to sacrifice stuff at instant speed without using mana to do so, and this is basically the same sack outlet as Yahenni, which is one of the stronger ones in my opinion, because having your creature survive a lot of board wipes is incredibly powerful. So in order to see how much play this is going to see, it's going to depend on what the other half of the card does, and I think it's actually quite solid as well. So it's going to give creature tokens you control training. Training is usually an ability that I don't feel is worth that much, but when you put it on tokens, it's actually quite a bit better because tokens tend to be 1/1s, particularly in these colors, so getting them to 2/2 the first time you attack is actually a huge upgrade. Not only that, but the way the stats work on Elder Arthur Maxson means that it's extremely likely that you're going to grow your tokens, since once he can attack, he's a 4/2, which is more power than most tokens, and since he can be made indestructible, it's extremely likely that he's going to survive combat. So you can just swing with him turn after turn and grow your tokens. That means that at the very least your tokens are going to be able to grow to be 4/4s if they're 1/1s, which is really good. So I feel that means that he can slot into most token strategies in these colors quite comfortably. However, it gets even better when you factor certain things in. For a start, he's incredibly good in Ratadrabic of Urborg, because that is a deck where the tokens you're going to be making with Ratadrabic are going to be 2/2, which means that they can be buffed by Elder Arthur Maxson, and of course, he is a legendary creature as well, which is incredibly solid. And in addition to all of that, he comes with a sack outlet, which is something that deck is very interested in having, and you need to have a bunch of sack outlets on legendary creatures for that deck to really work. So this is an amazing new addition, which coupled with Bartolomé del Presidio from Lost Caverns of Ixalan means that the deck is starting to get a critical mass of sack outlets on legendary creatures, which is fantastic. Elder Arthur Maxson, of course, also works very well with Teysa Karlov, which is one of the most popular commanders in Orzhov and one of the most popular aristocrat commanders. And of course, giving all of those tokens that you're going to be making in a Teysa deck training means that you're going to be able to have another angle to win the game rather than just going all out aristocrats, which, as I mentioned in the Colonel Autumn video I made, isn't always that reliable, so it's always nice to have another way to win the game, even if that other way turns out to just be turning tokens sideways and hoping they get big enough to deal enough damage. So when you take all of this into consideration, I feel Elder Arthur Maxson is going to fit in a bunch of different decks. Token decks and legendary decks are where he's going to be at its best, but any deck that wants a sacrifice outlet for free and Commander is going to be interested in this card, so I think you should definitely keep this one on your radar and consider including it in some of your aristocrat decks. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.